15-year-old Alex and 19-year-old Brady.
I wish I could fix these guys up with my daughter. These are really, really good-looking guys that are on their way up. Got nothing to do except for harass a bunch of elementary school kids and threaten them. What the fuck is your problem, honestly?
It's a complaint from all of you.
You know, when the cops come up, why would you stop eating? Paid for your food. Probably gonna get cold if you sit there and wait.
I met you before.
Oh yeah?
You look like my dentist. That's why I recognized you.
Tell me Brady's not high as shit. First of all, Brady seems harmless, honestly. Had the munchies, he's just eating his food. Look like a cop right now, but you look like there's no question he's high.
Somebody was yelling
They did not yell any threats. We don't got time for that.
Did you yell out the window?
We don't got time for that shit. Look, I'm 19. I'm on my way up.
You remember me when I stopped you and Jade? Yeah.
Look at he's totally smiling and laughing.
You guys got everything in this.
It was.
You guys got everything in this. He is high. There's no question he's high.
Why are you so dressed up today?
I'm always tasting.
Why are you so dressed up today? I love how high Brady is. Kind of want to hang out with Brady now all of a sudden.
I didn't yell at any f***ing kids.
Doesn't that really convince you when he's yelling at the officer to you think, oh, that he wouldn't yell at somebody else?
Me, yeah.
Because I'm on bond right now, and if I go back, I'm...
Oh, he's on bond too. These are all winners.
One of the black ski masks had writing that said, "No face, no case. F your homie, dead ass."
No face, no case. F your homie, dead ass. Now that is something you really want to read to the jury. Hi. This is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Guess who I am? I am your very own. You can hold me as your own board-certified criminal defense lawyer. So when you say to your friends, hey, do you have a board-certified criminal defense lawyer? You don't? Well, I do. Well, that's who I am to you. And we are coming to you with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks with our content genius that you know is Michael Rivers. So we are reacting when 3 teens put an elementary school in lockdown. And this is by Code Blue Cam. So you make sure you give them some love because they put out some good stuff too. But before we get to that, guess who this is brought to you by? You know, they're our sponsor. They love us. We love them. It's brought to you by eforms.com. eforms.com, a very effective way to avoid the high-priced lawyer like me to do something that you can do on your own and still get protected legally. You know I had to take care of my grandmother, right? She's in the basement. She's absolutely out of control. In fact, we're searching for her now because we think she's probably on OnlyFans sites and meeting young guys, and I just don't think it's appropriate. She's worth a lot of money. So what did I have to do? I had to get power of attorney over to kind of watch over her and protect her assets and make sure that she doesn't manipulate these young guys that she's trying to go after. So I had to get power of attorney. You go to eforms.com, you download the document, you fill it out, you get it notarized. It's a very easy thing to do. Bill of sale, or you need a rental agreement, any kind of legal form that you need, you can get it on eforms.com. Go to eforms.com, eforms.com. So I've had a case like this or two. I remember a while back, I had a client who was 13 years old, told his friends at school that he was going to shoot the place up. And, it was kind of a big deal at the time. And then they got a search warrant to search my client's house. And my client had well over 100 firearms in his house. And so they charged him with all kinds of stuff. And we got it all kind of squared away and got the case dismissed. But it was a real hassle. Whenever you're dealing with this kind of stuff, especially schools and school shootings, and that, it is just such a hot button issue. I haven't seen this. This will be a cold reaction. So let's just kind of check it out.
In March 2023, several officers responded to an elementary school for a threats complaint in La Crosse, Wisconsin. A black vehicle with 3 occupants had driven by.
Hey, wasn't our last video in La Crosse? Oh, no, it was Eau Claire. Yeah, it was Eau Claire. So Eau Claire is just not that far from La Crosse. Well, I suppose it's a couple hundred miles, but it's still the same type of small town in Wisconsin. And in Wisconsin, there's more bars per capita than anywhere else in the country. You go to a little town where there's like 8 people, there's 9 bars.
yelling profanities at kids on the playground and threatening to harm them. The students reported the incident and they were taken inside the school. An officer then quickly obtained video surveillance, recognizing the suspect vehicle associated with multiple past incidents, including...
Okay. Remember what I said in that last video? When you are dealing with small towns, they know who you are. You know, the cops, because generally speaking, they don't have shit to do. And so, and the cops love to fuck with teenagers. Love to fuck with teenagers. When you have a 2-year education, you kind of go, you recede down to the level of your, teenage years.
Damage to property, theft, and trouble with juvenile complaints. License plate information was shared, and an officer later spotted the vehicle conducting
Decentralized. Interesting.
a traffic stop. The driver was soon identified as a 19-year-old male named Hunter, along with his passengers, 18-year-old Alex and 19-year-old Brady.
These are, I wish I could fix these guys up with my daughter. I mean, these are really, really good-looking guys that are on their way up. You know, when you are just, you got nothing to do except for harass a bunch of fucking elementary school kids and threaten them, what the fuck is your problem, honestly? Probably, his MBA application hasn't come back yet, because he was going to get his, you think they're in school still, or they're just fucking around? And if you're their parents, it's got to be disheartening, unless their parents are shitbags too, which generally is, shitbags tend to breed shitbags.
Due to the threats made and the history of these individuals, multiple officers assisted the traffic stop. As they approached the vehicle, the individuals were observed reaching toward the center and making furtive movements.
Reaching towards the center and making furtive movements? What does that mean? It means they're reaching for a gun, or they're trying to hide some dope, or probably a combination of the two. And cops get really nervous when they see that. And they always say that as a way to escalate, as a way to justify the expansion of whatever their investigation is. So, in other words, I don't need to know what's going on. You look like you were grabbing a gun, so I'm going to just roust you and beat the piss out of you and maybe, I don't know, shove a taser up your ass.
58, both front passenger, rear passenger are reaching towards the center. I don't know if they're buckling their belts or what. Turn your music down, please. Can you roll your window down, please? Thank you.
How you doing?
Good to see your driver's license, please.
For what?
For what? For what? Because, I'm sitting here at this municipal college and, I'm on my way up in the company. Give me a break. For what?
Complaint over at the school of threats being yelled out at the school kids. Good to see all your driver's license and IDs because it's a complaint from all of you.
When the cops come up, why would you stop eating? I mean, you just shouldn't. You paid for your food. It's probably going to get cold if you sit there and wait. So you just continue to eat and don't worry about the cops.
Don't have one?
He's eating his chicken nuggets like he's watching a movie.
Do you have your ID on you? Front passenger, I'm talking to you. Do you have your ID on you? Can you roll your window down and talk to that officer?
Don't you have to turn the car off?
What's your first name?
1 second, let me finish chewing the car. Brady.
And a birthday, Brady. Don't reach in your pockets, please.
But I gotta get my hot sauce. I gotta get my hot sauce for my wings here. And maybe I'm having a little bit of animosity to kids that would mess with school kids. I mean, why the fuck would you do that? What's the benefit for you? Just to get your kicks? To shut down a school and just terrify a bunch of little kids? Come on. Brady, are you better than that? Probably not.
What's your address, Brady?
I know.
You don't know your address?
No.
I don't know my fucking address. What rock do you live under? Come on, tell me, Brady. And this is the part that I hate. When you're 19, you fucking know everything, don't you? You know everything. You're smarter and cooler than the cops. Your parents are dumb shits, and everybody else around you, except for your friends, are doing things right.
What's up, other car for me?
For what?
So I'm asking him to step out of the car.
Can I ask what kind of threats were made?
Threats to the kids.
That is not true at all.
Okay, well that's the complaint we've received.
We're literally getting back from Madison.
Get everything out of here. Try and focus, stick us.
What's your name, sir? Alex. I'm Ryan.
So one of the things that they do is divide and conquer. You know, you separate them and you talk to him, and then you talk to this guy, and then you come back to it. You know what he's saying about you? He's saying you're the one that instigated all this. And then all of a sudden, this is terroristic threats. This is a felony. You want to go to jail right fucking now? Tell me what really happened, because we don't believe what he's saying. And then they get him to, they do that back and forth if they know what they're doing.
Were you guys over by, was it Blessed Sacrament a little bit ago?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Do you know where it is? King and Losey? Were you guys over there? Did you guys have any interactions with the kid on the playground? None at all?
Okay. I was just coming back from my friend's court date.
Oh, okay. Over at the courthouse?
No, he had court up in Toma.
Oh,
We were
okay.
just coming back from there, and then
Hunter, why don't you go ahead and step out of the car for me, please?
Okay, well, one said he was coming back from Madison. The other one said they're coming back from Toma. So we got a little inconsistency there, because they're not really in the same spot.
Brady, just stay in the vehicle, okay? Step back this way. Stop right there.
Ooh, anger. So Hunter thinks he's kind of a badass, and he just can't be put up with the cops. So he's angry, but he's got a nice jacket on. So I mean, maybe he really did have a little something going on, like court.
There, anything on his stick me?
So you would have went by Blessed Sacrament there. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I
I'm not
guess
saying
I
that you had
don't
any
know.
interactions. I'm just saying that
I guess
that's
I-
where.
So inadvertently, he just put himself at the scene of the crime.
Okay.
My strong suggestion is probably just change the attitude, because it's
No,
not.
this is bullshit.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We didn't do anything.
Okay, well, your attitude isn't going to help you.
So we had a complaint, people in the.
Honestly, it might be irritating when you get pulled over by the cops, but taking an attitude with the cops is never a good idea. And even if you're fucking fuming at the cops, fucking hide it. Hide it. And you can vent later, but it just doesn't help you.
This car were yelling at the kids in the playground. That's why you're being stopped right now, okay?
Okay, step over this way, please. He can come right here.
We'd like to hear your side if there was someone saying something to you first or something like that.
I met you before.
Oh yeah? I'm Sergeant Rod.
Tell me Brady's not high as shit right here. I guarantee you, Brady's high.
You recognize me?
I don't think so. How do I know you?
I don't know if I know you either. I was just asking if I did.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Tell me what happened today over at the school.
Nothing. We came back from Madison. We're going there for a court date because our friend's going to prison.
Okay,
And we're driving back. And now we're here to go pick up a friend from school.
okay. And where did you pick him up from?
We haven't picked him up yet. We're about to. He goes to TC.
Was there information that there was a ski mask involved?
I'll pull him out.
Yeah, I'll step out for my guy. What's your name?
Are there any ski masks in the vehicle that you know of?
there's possibly one in my backpack, but I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, there's possibly one in my backpack. Okay, well now that's. Do they have do they need a warrant to search that? Probably not now at this point.
Had it on.
But he can ask for permission to search.
Had
Okay.
it on.
So what caused you to go by the school over on Losey?
Because we're coming back from Onalaska.
You want to just face the car and just put your hands up? I'm going to pay
Coming back from Mount Alaska, coming back from Toma, coming back from Madison.
you for weapons at this point, okay?
Okay, can I see it? I don't want to search your bag. I just want you to show it to me. I'll have him bring the bag here if that's right.
We're coming this way.
Okay, so what caused you to go all the way down and around and make a loop?
Ma'am, I don't think you understand. We did not yell at any kids.
You put your phone away, please. You can make someone when we're done here, okay?
Okay.
All right.
You're not answering my question. If you're coming to pick up him,
Am I going back to jail?
I don't think so.
I love how indignant Hunter is. Hunter thinks he's really cool, and he thinks he's above everybody that's standing out there.
it is relevant.
We
Okay.
did not make any threats to any children. Why
Okay.
would we yell at a bunch of kids saying we're going to kill them?
That's a good question.
Oh, now he just said we're going to kill them. Did he reveal more than he probably should have at that point?
That's a very good question.
One of two things happen. You're going to leave here no matter what, okay? You're either going to get nothing, and we'll see you later, or you're going to get probably a ticket, okay? Depending on the investigation.
Like, I'm trying to stay out
Could you
of
just,
trouble.
yeah, that's cool.
You look like my dentist. That's why I recognized you.
Tell me Brady's not fucking high as shit. You know, first of all, Brady seems harmless, honestly. He had the munchies. He's just eating his food, and he's like, well, "Man, do I know you? Are you my dentist? You look like a cop right now, but you look like my." Give me a fucking break. He's high. There's no question he's high. High on what? Who knows? But the Hunter is just, you know, it would serve him well just to be cool. But, you know, his protestations, we think, does protest too much.
No, definitely not a dentist. So,
I'm trying to stay out of.
Did you yell out the window anything?
No, I'm driving.
Okay. Did your passengers yell out the window anything?
No.
They yelled.
So Hunter's got the whole Donald Trump thing going on. You know, no, I was not yelling anything.
Nothing.
No.
Did you drive down Losey? Did you drive down 24th?
I don't know. We've been driving all day.
Did you drive down? Well, you would
Probably.
know.
We probably have. Yes.
Did you go about down 20?
Okay, there he just put himself at the scene of the crime.
24th Street or Losey Boulevard?
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? If something was yelled, let's just get to that so we don't have to spend here for an hour while an investigation is conducted over there.
we got the call today, worried about kids and kids' safety.
You know what I'm saying? So if someone did yell
It's right here,
something,
it's just black.
if someone did yell something, just let's have out with it right now.
I didn't yell anything.
Did anybody in the car yell anything?
Yes. What?
I assume
Which one?
so.
Which one?
Losey for sure.
Okay. Did you turn on to 24th Street?
Where's that?
Something happened. I wasn't there. We got other officers at the school reviewing all the video. Tell me what happened, man.
Hang tight with Officer Scray here.
It's the
Is that
one
the
street.
school?
Yep.
See how they're dividing Concord. They're not really telling each other that one person is saying something and the other person isn't.
On
Yes.
the other side of the school.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're coming here to get him, what would cause you to go by the school?
Well, first we're going to our friend's Thomas, and then we went to Quick Trip to get
Okay.
more gas, and then we came back and we're coming here.
Where'd you stop for gas at?
Basically, the only thing that happened was we drove by and there was a bunch of kids playing football in the road.
Yeah.
Somehow I knew Brady was going to be the one to crack. Because he's fucking high and doesn't give a shit.
One kid threw the ball to him and he dropped it. And we said he's bad at football. That's all that happened.
The kids,
Okay, he said he's bad at football. They knew you had some kind of ski mask, and now they're all scared shitless. Because what? Because they're bad at football?
said he's bad at football.
No, we said he was bad.
You said the kid was
We
bad
did
at
not
football.
threaten no.
Okay, so now you have all three of them putting themselves at the scene of the crime. Brady now has them interacting with the children. So where are we at from there? I mean, how much further do we have to go to substantiate the claims made by the kids? We're almost there.
Or anything.
Okay.
That's literally all we said. You're bad at football.
So you went way out on Mormon Cooley Road, got gas.
And then we're coming back this way.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're not getting any cooperation either. So they did admit to, one of them admitted that they did drive by there though.
Did anybody yell anything out the windows that would made them think that somebody was yelling
They did
threats?
not yell any threats. We don't got time for that.
Did you yell out the window?
We don't got time for that shit. You know, look, I'm 19. I'm on my way up. He is just not having this. You know, we don't have time for that. We've got some much more important things to do, like getting Brady some more weed and more chicken wings.
No.
They claim not to know where Blessed Sacrament was, but they gave you the route, so it took them right there. So we do have them there. So
No.
I'm driving. I can't be doing that shit.
People can yell and still drive.
So we went, turned around, and we went back the way we came. And they were all just around the teacher saying whatever they said. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you know who I am? Probably not.
Nope.
Oh, do you know who I am routine? Oh my god, you must be Hunter. Oh my god, you're a big fucking deal. In Eau Claire, Wisconsin. My god.
I've been trying to stay out of shit for so long. I do not need this.
Okay. Well, here we are.
I know, and I'm not trying to be here, and I'm not trying to be rude, but it's
Okay.
frustrating.
Yeah, and you can get as frustrated as
So what does that mean he's been trying to stay out of shit for so long? You know, if you knew your shit, you just wouldn't say anything. I mean, this is what we call self-snitching. They put themselves at the scene of the crime. Brady puts themselves talking to the kids, and Hunter is just not corroborating anything anybody says. In fact, he's lying about what they were doing, and he'd be better off if he just didn't say a word.
It's possible, but we have as much as you want, but we have a job to do.
I
We
understand
received
that,
the
but-
complaint, and they had to take all these kids into the school because of the threats that were
And
made.
I'm not even mad at you guys. I'm just mad at whoever called the police saying that we're trying to
School officials.
kids.
School officials.
Well, whoever's saying we're making threats, saying we're trying to kill them is
And you made no statements, no yelling, no nothing
no.
out.
That is outrageous, dude.
Do you have any weapons in the car?
No, I don't. I'm not allowed to have any.
It was also
I'm not allowed to have any. Why aren't you allowed to have any? Because you got a prior felony or a domestic assault, one of the two. Interesting.
discovered Hunter was currently out on 4 bonds and prohibited from committing any additional crimes while under bond.
Ooh, so what does that mean? So when you get charged with a crime, you go to court, and the court can issue what they call conditions of your release. And they can do unconditional or conditional. Yeah, unconditional, okay, I post 100 grand, you're fine, just go and then make your court dates. Conditional, post 50, and you have to follow these conditions. No use of alcohol, random testing, probably not that on this case, but don't commit any new crimes, remain law-abiding, and keep in contact with your supervised release agent, and make all your future court appearances. Or, they can have a whole, it all depends upon what the crime is. If it's a domestic, they can have a no contact order. If it's an internet crime, no use of the internet without prior approval, blah, 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 blah. So if he's out on 4 bonds, I've been trying so hard to stay out of trouble. Why is that? Because you got 4 fucking cases pending. Okay, Hunter's a shitbag. And now he's got this thing. Because you know what they can do is when you violate your conditions of release, they can revoke your bond.
Hunter's out on 4 bonds, misdemeanors, and no firearms is one of the conditions, and no drugs.
Are you on
I'm on
probation?
bond.
You're just on bond, no probation?
No guns or anything in the car, nothing that's gonna look like a gun, no BB guns or anything crazy like that.
I got rid of all my guns after I got arrested the last time.
Okay.
I got rid of my guns after I got arrested last time. Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's got daughters that they want to hook up with these fine young gentlemen, you better not.
Who yelled out the window at the kid?
I don't know. I was playing music.
Were you sitting there and
Now that is probably believable. That Brady is probably just baked off his ass, just eating his food and just kind of chilling. That does seem believable.
same spot you were, in the back seat behind the driver?
Yeah.
Was there a 4th person in the car, Brady?
No.
You didn't drop anybody off from that time until we...
Why are you so dressed up today?
I'm always
He
dressed up.
always looks good, man.
No, there's no no. There's just us three.
You remember me when I stopped you and Jade?
Why are you so dressed up today? He's fucking high. This is so fun.
Yeah.
Look at he's totally smiling and laughing. I love it. I like that. I didn't think I was gonna like Brady as much as I do. He just is a happy-go-lucky guy. He's not gonna tell anybody. He goes, I had a case one time. Prosecutor was trying to get out that my client was owed some money, and they were gunning for this guy, and it was a homicide, and so, there was angry, in the van on the way to go collect his money, and so I'm questioning the guy, and he says, "So what was the mood like in the van?" He goes, "I told you, man, it was laid back. We smoking weed." I have never had a case where it started out smoking weed and it ended up, with fisticuffs, or it's always booze or meth, fucking meth. But but never weed. I don't ever have cases that start out with weed and end up with violence. They just end up with smiles, like Brady.
You do, don't you?
So you act familiar.
You didn't say you're gonna
We just
get a
said you're bad
gun,
at
or
football.
you ain't gonna shoot him, or something like that.
No, I just graduated high school. That's weird.
Sure.
He said they...
That's weird, man. That's just weird. I love how high Brady is. He kind of want to hang out with Brady now all of a sudden.
He said they made no statements, no threats, no yelling, no nothing.
That's what he said too. But he did say they come back from Toma. He does have a black mask in his thing, but he denies having it on.
And all that you said to the kid was bad at football?
Might have said you suck.
Oh, you suck at football.
Now we're getting someone.
So you guys were driving past the school, kid dropped a football, you yell out the window, "Hey man, you suck at football." And then what
Look at he's just laughing. I like Brady seems believable.
happened?
We drove away.
Hey, Terry, here. Here you go.
Hang on a minute. Go a little bit slower, those statements. 95 times 3. Okay.
You get positive ID?
They said it was all 3 of them. And he said these were the 3 that were in the car that went around.
Okay. All right, they're comfortable. They're 95.
95?
Yep.
Hunter, I need you to go ahead and put your hands behind your back for me.
Damn it! You know, I just don't have time for this arrest, man. You know, I've got other things going on. You know, I got my blazer on. I look pretty good. And he's out on 4 bonds. That means if they revoke all, and what if they're all in different counties? Guess what? You got to make your way around to different counties. I mean, fuck. Over what? Over a stupid prank, or just fucking with kids, and you don't need to do that. It's terroristic threats when you threaten physical violence against somebody.
I'm placed under arrest now based on Officer Roden's request.
No, you're being placed under arrest for disorderly conduct and bail jumping.
Based on some statements made by the complainants, they must have described you good enough where she's comfortable arresting you. Hold on, what's going on with this wrist here, partner? Is it broken or anything? Actually, just let's hold off on this then. You're under arrest, okay? We're not gonna put you in cuffs though. Do you understand that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna mess your wrist up anymore.
I'll have you stand up though. We gotta just put the handcuffs on you. Put your head behind your back, please.
Walk right back to my skirt. And slide in there.
Hope they feel good about themselves. Harassing me, dude.
So no way I can't just get like a ticket or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I'm on bond right now, and if I go back, I'm.
Oh, he's on bond too. These are all winners. Winning. Doesn't Hunter look like a winner with his sunglasses and his blazer on? He looks so, like, I don't know, like he could commit another felony. I mean, and all this misdemeanor shit just adds up after a while.
I had court like 2 weeks ago, and they said that if I get arrested again, my charges are going to be. They're trying to get it revoked right now, but they said I have a chance to like get out of all trouble for the state.
All right, well, I tell you what.
Well, you should have thought of that before you started fucking with some little kids. Stupid. I mean, this kind of stuff is just a brain drain. It's just absolutely dumb.
Let me go talk to Officer Roden, and I'll get you your answers in a little bit, okay?
I don't care. Give me as much tickets as I want. I'm just trying to stay out of jail.
Okay. She spoke with the officer on scene. Okay. She said she got probable cause. I'm not going to sit and have her explain it to me right now. Okay. She's a veteran officer. So where'd that mask go?
It's in there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take that as evidence, though. You need to get out, sir? I thought we were blocking you.
Student center.
All right. You're good to go.
Yeah. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Just grab a seat for me, and then we'll talk to Officer Rowan and see what we got going on, okay?
Upon searching Alex's backpack, several bullets and masks were found, but no firearms were located.
It's still illegal if you're not eligible to possess a firearm to possess ammunition too.
One of the black ski masks had writing that said, "No face, no case. F your homie, dead ass."
No face, no case. Fuck your homie, dead ass. Now that is something you really want to read to the jury. And officer, can you tell us what the statement on the mask said? Well, it said, no face, no case. Fuck your homie, dead ass. I mean, that's just fucking priceless.
Hey, be careful. There's a bunch of rounds in here. There's a lot of them.
Wait, when you pulled over me and Jade, were you just waiting for us to drive by?
No, I was actually on my way home. Someone saw the vehicle and we knew we had to talk to you guys. And I was the closest one.
Anything sharp in there? It might poke me, stick me, anything like that.
I love how Brady just comes up with the randomest shit. His high is going to wear off pretty fucking soon.
Hunter, when it gets about time when we have to move your vehicle, will you give us permission to legally
This is
park
illegal,
it?
bro. I didn't do anything.
Will you give us permission?
Why am I being under arrest?
I advise you, you're under arrest for disorderly
When
conduct.
was I being disorderly?
Okay.
When?
Over at the school, I explained it to you.
How?
Okay.
How was I being disorderly?
Yelling profanities and threats.
When did I yell?
You know, I don't know what he thinks here because arguing with a cop won't help you. It's not like you're going to talk yourself out of it. Unless you can somehow show that you were in Toledo, Ohio at the same time.
Where is the proof of me yelling at people?
It's from multiple kids.
Anyway, I can get like a sig bond out here. Because I talked to an officer a while ago, and apparently, I guess you guys can do that.
It depends on what the alleged offense is.
Unfortunately for you. Unfortunately, it's the kids that had to hear this.
I didn't yell at any f***ing kids.
Doesn't that really convince you when he's yelling at the officer to you think, oh, that he wouldn't yell at somebody else?
When it comes to time to move your vehicle, will you give us permission to move it?
No.
Okay.
Which means they can fucking tow it now, and you can be responsible for the towing charges and the storage charges. What a dumb shit.
You might be going. I don't know. I'm just shooting shit
I don't
with
know,
you.
you try to just do whatever you can and not
Yeah.
get me in jail, I guess.
I get you. Thing number.
See now, I don't know, remember what this guy's name is, but at least he's conciliatory with the cops, and he's not really admitting anything except for the masks. But you know, he's trying to work with the cops, and they're trying to work with him a little bit. So it seems anyway.
Number 2, Alex, there's a bunch of rounds in your bag.
Yeah, I know. I guess I knew that was in there. There's no gun, though.
There's not going to be a gun in the car? Okay. All right, sit tight.
If you just sit down and then slide your feet on there.
All right. You good, Brady? You want the window down a little bit?
No, but what's happening? What am I doing?
Well, we're going to head over here. I'm going to collaborate with my partner.
I'm not trying to go to jail for the first time for this bullshit.
You never been to jail before?
Nuh-uh. The worst ticket I ever got was an underage drinking.
That's believable that he got a minor consumption.
You guys got everything in this bitch.
It was.
You guys got everything in this bitch. He is high. There's no question he's high.
They yelled out, and they said all three of them were yelling, "Suck my dick, f*** you, I'm going to kill you." They circled around the school again. "I'm going to kill you, f*** you."
Oh, good eyes spotting this juke.
Well, you know, when you
Right
sit in
place,
an
right
office
time.
all day, I kind of got to flex once in a while. So.
All right, Alex, so here's kind of the deal right now. So we're waiting on a canine for the vehicle because of kind of what happened.
Oh, no, the dog's taking a piss on the handicapped door opener. But so did you see what was that guy's name? Did you see Alex's face though when he says we're gonna get a canine and search your vehicle?
I spoke to Tim Brunke. He said due to evidence of the offense, there's enough there because of the bullets and the threats to kill.
Okay.
So we're going to search it.
Thanks, Murray. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. Everything else is good in Alaska?
No.
Oh,
It's
no.
in service week, so.
Oh, sure.
Absolute nightmare.
Yep.
The vehicle search yielded no weapons or other contraband, but a false ID was found in Hunter's wallet, along with half a bottle of tequila under the passenger seat.
Open bottle. This is all like low-level stuff. But the threats against the kids, that is it should be a felony. It should be a terroristic threats kind of charge.
Just a bottle of Patron, Terry.
Yeah.
Hunter's got a false ID, so he can...
a few days ago for ID, so that would make sense.
Under that seat?
The passenger seat.
Okay.
What they're observing on the camera and what they're picking up from school staff was the three of you had driven by the school and all three individuals had yelled something out of the window, something to the effect of, "I'll kill you," or something like that.
We're locking up.
And that's the bitch about, driving by a school, especially. If you said you never drove by the school and there's video footage, anything you say after that is just not going to be believed, even if it's true.
Okay.
Just based on history and the violent history that we've had.
The violent history that we've had, the ongoing complaints, the ongoing complaints.
And it's actually increasing from used to be damaging cars with a brick or something at night.
Yeah.
All those to shooting BB guns now and more weapons and gun calls. It just they keep
What
going.
did they have at the school?
They drove by and they said all three were yelling out, "Suck my dick, fuck you, I'm going to kill you." They circled.
Suck my dick, fuck you, I'm going to kill you. Why the hell would they do that? What benefit would you get by... I mean, these kids are probably, if they're grade school kids, 10 years younger than these guys. 9, 10 years old, 11 maybe? Come on.
Around the school again, and then they yelled out again, "I'm going to kill you and f*** you."
Yeah, that would definitely scare.
We'll just go
Off the top
DC,
of my
and
head.
then the DA can up it if they want to.
So what she's saying is just go disorderly conduct as a misdemeanor, and then if the district attorney wants to increase it to threats of violence or terroristic threats, that's within their discretion. So in other words, they're going to book them for misdemeanors, which means they should be able to bond out relatively quickly.
Got a lot of drugs.
No, we didn't find any.
Damn, so how did the dog hit?
The dog didn't hit.
So why'd you search my vehicle?
It was searched for evidence of the offense of the threats to kill with the ammunition in your buddy's backpack.
Oh.
What did they say about me? I was yelling that I was gonna kill them? That's what was said?
That was yelled.
It was. Dude, this is gonna be so fun in court. You guys are gonna look stupid.
I'm sorry that you think it's funny, because you have...
What's funny? I said you guys are gonna look stupid.
Oh, okay.
I love when they're gonna show the video of me yelling at them, man. And I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
Brady, how we doing back here?
It still sucks.
With our investigation here, we've got a disturbance was definitely created, and some kids got pretty scared with some grown adult men yelling.
But it's just stupid, because you got at least 2 out of the 3 of them are out on bond on other things. So this dumb little kind of, I don't know what you would call it. I mean, it's just a flexing of rage, I guess, for lack of a better word. All that did for Alex and Hunter is just let them fuck with their conditions that they're already on. And they're going to get another case. So he's going to have 5 cases in which he's out on bond. And they could turn into a felony. It's just stupid. I mean, to what benefit? Zero benefit.
Yelling stuff out the window at them. It's not something that we take lightly when it comes to this kind of stuff. The charge is disorderly conduct. We'll be going to jail with that charge, all right?
What?
Yeah.
How am I going to jail for that?
You can't just go spouting off, whatever you want. Scaring these little kids. Imagine if you're a little kid and you had a car with full-grown adult men yelling stuff that they're gonna whatever, scared the heck out of these kids, you know what I mean? Yep, just make sure you behave through the booking process. They gotta take your fingerprints and your photo and this and that.
Is this gonna be like the Walmart mugshots?
I don't know anything about
It's just gonna be like the Walmart mugshots. Okay, he's either high or stupid or a combination of the two.
the Walmart thing.
Oh, they just make you stand up against the wall and smile at the camera.
Oh, yeah.
At the jail, Hunter persisted in being a Class A smartass and wouldn't take the incident seriously.
Oh no, what citation am I getting?
False ID and...
False ID?
Yeah.
How's that false ID?
ID in your wallet, it's not yours.
Throwing the book at me, aren't you?
Doing my job.
Your job is harassing people?
Well, if you feel this is harassment...
I do, I honestly do.
Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Nah.
It's not anything else. Alright, brother. We'll grab a seat.
Where, oh where can I park my little car? Brady, one leg out, stand up. You said this is your first time here?
Yeah.
Step off to the
Eddie,
left
what's up?
here. Actually, sit over here on this
First for
little
everything.
chair on the blue chair. Thank you, sir.
Pick up the coat.
Nothing, I'm tired of this Miley Cyrus motherfucker right here.
Have a seat.
Yes,
Sometimes what they do is, they'll let a few defendants, or a couple defendants at least, in a room together, if they're not animus, and then they record it, and they just let them kind of talk amongst themselves.
Zeros, yeah.
Dude, they give him the smallest shoes ever. What the? Give him a bigger shoe.
And I need your opinion on what? Nothing, so be quiet. For last time, I think it gets you in a little more trouble. Alright, come on down, please. I'm gonna explain it to you one more time. I have to ask you serious questions. Either you answer them yes or no, or we'll be done. We'll just take you back to the cell, and you can sit for a few days and think about it again. Your choice.
So, threatening with jail to the youngest guy who doesn't have a record is an effective technique.
As a result, Hunter was rewarded with felony making terrorist threats, party to a crime, misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct, party to a crime, and bail jumping ×2. He was also...
That means he violated his conditions of jail, or of the bond, and the other cases.
Also cited $780 for underage drinking and the false ID. Alex and Brady earned themselves felony making terrorist threats and misdemeanor disorderly conduct.
Why do you think the snitch got misdemeanor conduct? Or misdemeanor disorderly conduct? Because he was a snitch.
Hunter and Alex's cash bonds were set at $5,000 and $2,500, while Brady was released on a $5,000 signature bond.
Gee, so when you snitch, you don't have to pay for a bond, you don't get a felony. But that's $7,500 between Alex and Hunter. For what? For what? For just kicks to scare the shit out of kids? I mean, and how dumb does that... It's just so dumb.
But it seems that didn't stop them. A few months later, they were all arrested again on felony charges, including identity theft and retail theft.
See, this is the kind of shit that happens when you got nothing going on. When you don't have something that you're building. You know, and I think this is an excellent example of idle time is the devil's workshop, right? And, you know, maybe I'm old and, you know, preachy and all that shit. But guess what? Would you rather be dealing with now 6 cases or 7 cases and in and out of jail constantly? Or would you rather be able to build something and then all of a sudden a few years later you have a yacht? Oh, that sounds better, doesn't it? A lot better class of women in college than in jail. Actually, there's no women in jail for you. So my point is you know, if you're in high school, a lot of high schoolers watch this stuff. If you're in high school, take a lesson from this. You know, if you got shitbag friends who are dragging you down by trying to get you to do stupid shit, don't do it. Don't do it. Build your life. Build your life. Build your education. Build your experience. Build your financial future. Build your relationships with positive people. If you're a young man, get a mentor. If you're a young woman, get a female mentor. Somebody that is doing something positive that you can strive for. Somebody that you can turn to for advice. Could be a teacher, could be a counselor, could be a business person, could be somebody in college or law school, or it could be anybody. But have an idea of where you want to go. When you are 19, just out of high school, and you're not in college, you're not working, you don't have any money, and so what are you going to do? You know, if you got all this time on your hands, you're going to figure out a way to rob and steal and do stupid shit. My hope is that these guys figure it out, but, you know, it just seems like they're not going to. It's frustrating, honestly. I don't really represent guys like this because guess why? They don't have any money, and I'm expensive. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. Our content genius, Michael Rivers, is behind the camera, and he is behind everything I say and do. I just love him to death. This is a labor of love. This is a father-son project, really. And so, but we try to impart a message. There's a little bit of a message behind every one of our videos. And in this, the message is don't do stupid shit and build. You know, you build, all of a sudden you could, you know, I've had my practice now for 26 years. And I've been able to build a nice practice, a nice life for myself and my family. It can all be taken away in a second by just making stupid moves. Listen to what I'm saying. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer. There's a reason he's out, and I don't know what it is, but it's very odd that he would be able to make bail. Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to a fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, coming to you with my pearl-handled pistol cufflinks, graciously given to me by our content genius, Michael Rivers, who's behind the camera, making me say all the stuff that I'm saying. I have no brain of my own. Without him, there would be no channel, and that's actually probably true. So we're coming to you after a little bit of a break. We took a little hiatus, a little 4th of July break. And that's because, well, I'm not going to lie, my basement was flooded with anhydrous ammonia. My grandparents had a meth lab going in there, so we had to call these people to come out and clean it. And guess what? I couldn't get over there to sign anything. So it was eSign.com. eSign.com was a very effective way for me to remotely do business to clean up my grandparents' mess. I couldn't make it in there, so you downloaded the app. We had 3 free signatures. And now, with all the other crap going on, they cleaned it up. And so I have now committed my grandparents to a correctional institution because of their misdeeds. But I was grateful to have eSign.com because without them, I wouldn't have been able to get the job done as fast as I did. So eSign.com, a very effective way to remotely do business. So now I'm hoping you guys had a good 4th of July. I did. We spent the weekend on my yacht. Cheers.
Actually hit my head a lot when I was a kid.
That explains a lot.
That's a lot of spicy meatball!
What does that do to you?
Killer. That's a booty board here to do it.
Oh my God, Michael, run.
And just kind of had a fire on the on the point, and it's right on a river, and it's just absolutely stunningly beautiful. And so the Content Genius was out there. We made pizzas. We just had a great time. Drank a lot of rosé. We rosé all day, and it was just a blast. 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays. It gives you time to really think about how lucky we are in this country to have some of the rights and privileges that we do. And, the burden of proof is on the government to prove their case. You have the right against self-incrimination. You have the right to have a lawyer. You have all these different rights, the right against unreasonable searches and seizures that a lot of countries don't have. And because we have them, people talk about victims and their rights and everything. Well, we try to protect the rights of the accused, because if they can do whatever they want to the accused, then they can do it to you too, right? So today we're gonna give you a little bit of a recap and an update on the Melly case. So now I'm gonna react to this video here. Bortland was in court this last week, and let's just kind of watch, and we're gonna talk a little bit about more what I think is gonna happen.
Portland Henry?
Yes, sir. He's present.
That you in the back of the
status conference.
Come on up.
And I guess you're already trial the co-defendant right now. We're set for October 3rd for trial. Status conference in September. I think we're up scheduled.
So this is kind of odd, right during the Melly trial, that they would have an appearance for Bortland. I don't think you can read anything into that, but this is what that is. So if you heard him, he said there's an appearance or a trial date of October with a status conference in September.
That's good for that. In terms of
We have a trial date already?
Yes.
A lot of times you check in with the judge to make sure there aren't any outstanding issues, because you don't want to get to the day of trial, bring the jury up, and all of a sudden you can't try the case. That's pretty common.
That's good with everybody?
So far. We're finished with our other one.
You hear that? Is that October date good with everybody? Yeah, so long as we're finished with this one. So, is it possible this could go that long? I don't think it's going to go that long, honestly.
So, you had a motion pending as well?
Yes, Judge. As the court, when we were here the last time, you let him go to church and stuff, you said about working, you would be subject to seeing his schedule. We filed a schedule for the next couple of months.
Now, here's why I'm suspect of this. He is a charged defendant in a homicide, double homicide case. And he's not in custody. And he's on home monitoring. Now he wants to go to work. You don't see that very often.
He would like to be able to work. And I talked to his probation supervisor. She has no problem with him at all.
And what kind of fucking job is he going to have right now? I mean, this is kind of silly in a way. Is he going to get a job at a mortuary because he's got some experience with that now? Or is this more about music and making music? And what kind of music is he going to make? Self-stitching music? My guess is that's the latter is probably...
He said that if he's going to go to work, he'd like anybody has to do, provide an itinerary, where he's going to be, how he's...
Like anybody who's charged with a double homicide has to do. Give me a fucking break. There's a reason he's out. And I don't know what it is. But it's very odd that he would be able to make bail. And that Melly wouldn't. You know, I think Melly's being held without bail.
How it's going to get done, when he's going to be back, you know, and the normal check-in, drug testing, everything that goes with that.
Thank you. Anything else you want to
I don't think so. I think that covers it.
How about the state? What's the state's position on this?
Karen, he's violated his pretrial in the past. That's why he denied the work at the previous time.
He's violated his pretrial in the past. In other words, when you get charged with a crime, the court can impose conditions on your release. In other words, you get arrested, you go to jail. All right, so now what? You can put bail on him, and then you can put all kinds of conditions on him, like curfew, drug testing, that kind of stuff. And that's what she's talking about. He's violated some of those conditions that were set before.
And was maintained a schedule that was not allowed to work, so they used to revisit it. This schedule includes, locations all across the eastern seaboard and Midwest in terms of the ability to supervise for probation and pretrial.
Traveling all over the fucking country when you got a double homicide, how safe does that sound for the judge to allow him to do that? We find out that he violated his conditions of release by saying he was going to go to work on at least 2 different occasions and wound up at a strip bar. Unless you're working at a strip bar, I don't think he's stripping, but he's having fun. And if I'm the judge, I'd probably revoke his bail. His bail is only $90,000. Why the hell was his bail only $90,000 on a double homicide? That is insanely low.
That is almost impossible. With regards to the time frames and all of the studio issues on that, I don't understand why they have to be until midnight or 11 p.m., why they can't be done during other hours on that. So the state would object. And he's already shown prior issues with pretrial. So for those reasons, the state would say that the current schedule and it only needs to be maintained for another 3 or 4 months at this point before we'll be.
Now I know that Borland has been posting a lot of pro-Melly stuff online, but I would not be surprised, mark my words, that he winds up testifying later, because they're going to try to hang the jacket on him. And so here's the thing, when people say, I've seen online, the trial's going to wrap up here soon. It ain't going to wrap up anytime soon. First of all, you haven't had the medical examiner testify. You haven't had some of the other crime scene people testify. And you're going to also have the defense case. So this case is so far from over. But watch Borland, because Borland's on the verge of being taken back into custody for violating his conditions of release. And I would bet $1 to a hole in a donut that he does testify.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, I just think that Judge, he wants to work. He violated previously because he was going to shows that were at it's a place they didn't like.
He went to a strip bar. I mean, he went to shows. I mean, he didn't. When you violate repeatedly a judge's court order, the judge will shove that court order up your ass, and you can't do what you want to do. It's as simple as that. The government now controls your life. This is what I've been telling you guys. You can't let the government control your life. And the only way you don't do that is by playing by some rules, not committing illegal acts, and keeping Uncle Sam off your back.
Where he's going to be now, his supervisor doesn't have a problem. If he violates, he's going to prison or jail. He's not going to be out. He's been back in without the ability to do anything for months. So I was.
Hold on.
Yes.
Respectfully, motion denied. All right. Thank you.
Do you think did the judge waiver there at all?
Hold on.
Yes.
Respectfully, motion denied.
Respectfully, motion denied. I mean, he didn't even think about it. He probably had it. This is what I hate. I hate it when a judge already has the order filled out before I even start doing my argument. And that's what that sounded like.
Okay, see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, now look at this. This pisses me off. You're in fucking court. You're in fucking court and you don't wear a tie? You don't wear a tie? Give me a break. I've seen guys wear tennis shoes. I've seen them wear jeans. I mean, unless it's an emergency hearing. Come on.
All right, let's get on.
The client looks better than the lawyer. That is our reaction to that. So now where are we at with the trial? Well, you've got medical examiner evidence because you remember we had the ballistics guy that testified the trajectory of the bullets and the caliber of the one that was found in the rear passenger seat and how that matched with where Melly got into the car and how he knows for sure that they were all fired from the one position, and then you could tell that any injuries that happened from outside the car were not fatal because they were already dead. How do they know they were already dead? They know they're already dead because if you hit me here and my heart's not beating, blood isn't going to ooze out. You know that? So that's how they could tell that they were already dead when they were shot from outside the car. So you'll have the medical examiner testify next week. I think they took the rest of the week off, if I'm not mistaken. And so you'll have the medical examiner testify next week. You'll have other crime scene people testify. You'll have a bunch of other cops that will testify, and maybe even some other lay witnesses. Then you're going to have Melly's turn in probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then they'll start presenting evidence. And, they'll probably have their own medical examiner. They should have their own expert in terms of the trajectory of the bullets. Whether Bortland testifies or not remains to be seen. I'll bet you anything Melly is not going to testify. Melly, that's my prediction. Melly will not testify. I think it would be absolutely foolhardy for the lawyers to have him testify, especially when there's so many text messages out there that they can really hit home with on cross-examination. And when I start telling you that I think Bortland's going to testify, I don't know that for sure. It's just an educated guess. But the defense definitely is going to try to hang the Jack. If you remember what they said in their opening statement. And they likened it to one of many other suspects that could have done this. And, the guy who brought the guys to the ER, knowing everything is BS. Well, what does that tell you? I mean, that tells you all you need to know. And if you remember what Bortland's charged with, he's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of accessory to first-degree murder, which carries the same penalty, life without parole. He's not looking at the death penalty, though, I don't think. But he's still looking at life without. He is probably the most one on the hook for this because he was the last one with the guys, right? But think about it this way. If you think about what actually happened here, Melly's in, and let's say Bortland didn't know what was going down, okay? And so you've got Bortland in the driver's seat. You got the 2 other guys in the passenger side, front and rear seat, and you got Melly in the driver's side rear seat. So passenger over there, pop, 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 and so now he kills them both. Now, if Bortland if this was a surprise to him and this just pop, pop happened, that's one thing. And he would have a defense of duress, I would think, for continuing on with either a charade or some kind of, accessory after the fact. So we'll see. We're going to follow this. We'll see you Monday on this issue, or maybe probably Tuesday of next week, and we'll continue to follow this and see where the state goes with their case. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Well, I don't want to be choked. But you did. Choke me, Daddy. Put a dog collar around my neck. Choke me while you're me. This is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your very own board-certified criminal defense lawyer, coming to you with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks so graciously gifted to me by our former content genius that you know as Michael Rivers. And we have some of his art up on clrbrucerivers.com, so go there and get your hats and hoodies and all that kind of stuff. But before we get to that, we are reacting today to the release. This is Shannon Sharpe Part 2. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of text messages that have been released, a lot of some voice recordings, phone calls between the parties, and some other dynamics. I sort of did a cross-examination of her last time, and we'll talk about the dynamics at play here. Well, first of all, Shannon Sharpe, I kind of compared him in the last episode to OJ, only in so much as you have a very successful football player turned into a very high-profile social personality, having, a thing on ESPN, having his own podcast. The guy was worth a lot of money, and he is, highly visible. And at first blush, he seems like this, charismatic, attractive, fit, and educated guy, which he is all those things. But when you air your dirty laundry, when, the woman that you're dating comes out and says all this nasty shit about you, and who can withstand scrutiny? What if you would like to just, in the privacy of your own boudoir, you'd like to finger your ass, turn around and beat off on it? Maybe that's your thing, but do you need everybody to know about that? Honestly. So we're learning all this shit about Shannon Sharpe that we probably didn't want to know, but here we go. Tony Busby, as you remember, is the knuckle-dragging, scum-sucking lawyer who just will drag anything through a parking lot. He's the one that took a muck rake and, went through the gutter and got a bunch of clients on Diddy. Remember that? And so and he now, supposedly, he represents this Gabrielle Zaninga or whatever her name is. They've released some text messages. She wants him to put a dog collar on my neck, tie me up, and do bad things to me. Now, people say things in role play, right? And she's in OnlyFans, and she knows everything about role play. So what they're saying is that there was a pattern of sexual role playing, and specifically includes her being choked by him, okay? And in one of the text messages that were released, this is according to Yahoo News, I guess. In one of the text messages that was released, she says, "I want to be abused, Daddy. I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, Daddy. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and then choke me while you're fucking me. I want some hardcore BDSM action though too." And according to, let's see, and here's one released by her side. "But I cried when you left. I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my ass, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon." What we have are a lot of these text messages going back and forth. Then we have this, let's react to this phone conversation. But before we do, let's just talk about what we're talking about here. Remember when I talked, if you have a bad case, like if you abuse a child, you're starting out in a hole. What are we arguing about, Shannon? We're arguing about whether you choked the shit out of somebody on at least 2 occasions and then had sex with them against their will. First of all, why wasn't this reported to police? And if it was, why didn't they charge it out? All they need is probable cause to charge something like this out, which is slightly more true than not true. And to prove her damages, it just has to be slightly more true than not true. But what the fuck is wrong with good old-fashioned romantic sex? I think what happens with these football players sometimes, it's not enough. I've seen that in my line of work where people dip that toe into the water depravity and they get into a certain thing, and that's not enough. Then they go to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Remember we did the Vince McMahon thing? What we have is people they have to have either torture or go to another level to get off, because it just isn't. What's wrong with, I look in your eyes, you look in my eyes, we're really excited to be with each other. We love each other. We have this connection with each other. Let's hold hands. Let's fuck like hell and then go have dinner. Or the other way around. What is wrong with that? It has to be choking. And a lot of these these young chicks are into choke me, Daddy. What the fuck? Stop. No, I don't want to choke you. That's just not right. The dynamic here is he's 30 years older than she is. There's a generational divide. You're going to have a 50-year-old guy hanging out with people in their early 20s? The only reason he's with her, and not even with her, I don't know that they ever lived together. It's just a fucker. That's it. So I just want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, CyberGhost. My grandma uses CyberGhost, okay? I didn't even know what it was. She brought it to my attention. And CyberGhost encrypts all her traffic, and it hides her IP address, which I'm wondering why she wants to do that, but it does. And it keeps her anonymous, so it actually protects her. It could be streaming some old crime flick on Netflix from the U.S. catalog, or I don't know, let's be real. She's probably scoping out deals for contraband sites. I don't know what she's doing. My grandma's actually a little more uptight, than I am. But she really is worried about her security. And so with servers in over 100 countries, she's got options. And it's very simple to use. You just 2 clicks and she's on the other side of the world. One subscription covers 7 devices, so she can hook up her burner phone, her dusty laptop, and even her grandkid's iPad when they're not ratting her out. So CyberOS has over 38 million users, 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, so you know they're good. So right now, you or grandma can grab it for $2.03 a month plus 4 months free. Let me just restate that. $2.03 a month with 4 months free. So you've got absolutely nothing to lose. That's 84% off. That's just on our deal alone. Nobody else gets this deal with a 45-day money-back guarantee, so it's totally risk-free, and the link is down below. Support the channel, stay safe online, because privacy isn't just for the guilty. But let's listen in.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
that sounds like a whiny teenager, honestly.
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Well, I don't want to be choked. But you did. Choke me, Daddy. Put a dog collar around my neck. Choke me while you're fucking me.
I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Listen to that dynamic. You say that, and sometimes people can use that kind of language, not meaning it, Oh, I could just fucking kill you. I've heard that 100 times in a case, and people don't mean that. Listen, he does say some other things to her. She says, I don't really want to go out because I don't want to get choked. And he says to her, well, I'll choke you in public then. Big black man chokes a little white girl. I mean, he says that to her. And he says it to her in a kind of a sinister way. And here's my point. Everybody's commenting on this. All the celebrities are commenting on it. His life is you might as well just, Shannon, grab your ankles and socially, expose your ass. Because that's what's happening. You had ESPN. You got your podcast. And now your personal life is splattered, literally splattered all over social media. Look, how do I even know about this shit? I mean, just a little small-time lawyer in fucking Midwestern Minnesota. And I'm talking about it. He tried to keep a lid on this by settling her. And this is just in several reports, like Breakfast Club and TMZ was reported on these, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the allegation is that he tried to settle this case for $10 million. You try this case with her history, you think you're going to get $50 million out of this? I don't know that you're going to. But why isn't this criminal? That's what just kills me. I don't know why it's not criminal. What this has turned into is a whole bunch of uninvited problems for Shannon. Even Shaq has gotten into the deal. Let's listen in.
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there.
To what end is that, honestly? This is why, if you are a high-profile individual, you're going to have to be more careful than most. I mean, Shannon, why not find some chick in her 40s that has her own job, like a lawyer or something, I mean, that has her own money, that doesn't need your money. It's because this is easy fruit. It's easy fruit to go after the young thing that has nothing, really, and wants to be around something. And, and a lot of these young chicks will do anything to do that, including this depravity bullshit. So you're going to have to defend this. And I would bet you any money that there are going to be more accusers coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, wow, maybe I can win some money. I think his lawyer called it a shakedown. And it may be. And there may not be anything to this, but there may be. There's going to be, one thing I liked about Johnny Depp, he had to lose, really, because He wasn't really putting out any movies, but he defended himself. And I think putting her through the paces of having to prove her claim exposed her, Amber Heard, for who she was. But just the allegation alone can lead you to lose lucrative contracts. I have a friend that was part of a lawsuit against a well-known football player, and he filed a brief, and they filed a defamation claim against him just because he filed a fucking brief. You know, I mean, so just the allegation alone. My advice to you, if you're Shannon Sharpe, or if you're, first of all, you should probably masturbate more than you should go out with women in their 20s. I mean, honestly, guess what? If you jerked off in your bathroom, instead of having a relationship with this woman, you wouldn't have any of these problems that she's posing upon you right now. All this other shit that you did with her on text messages and voicemail and probably Instagram and whatever, that's all record. And there's a reason that phone call was recorded. She didn't record you because she thought she, wanted to save it for posterity. She saved that recording because she wanted to fuck you over. There's a guy that does computer forensics here. I was talking to him. He did stuff for the Secret Service, but he did Paul McCartney's divorce. Remember when he was with that one-legged wonder? That woman, she was attractive except for she was missing a limb. She took him for a ride. Imagine her trying to kick him. I'm just kidding. Just the visual I just got there, her falling on her ass trying to kick him. This episode, as all of our episodes, are brought to you by AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com is a very effective way, an inexpensive way, to get legal advice on a particular legal issue. For example, if you have somebody in your basement that just won't fucking leave, and they're picking their toenails and they're having their friends over and they're you don't know what they're doing down there, you go to AskALawyer.com. For $49, they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Here's how you do it legally. Now that doesn't apply to me because I love my grandma despite what she does with her feet. But if you have a landlord-tenant issue, if you have a contract issue, you have a criminal issue, you have any kind of legal issue whatsoever, go to AskALawyer.com, and they have actual lawyers standing by to answer your questions. Real lawyers. For $49, it's money well spent. You can all of a sudden decide, you know what, I don't have a claim. I can sleep easy now knowing that I consulted a lawyer and whatever. Or you can say, hey, I need to take this to the next level because I do have a claim. Whatever it is, go to AskALawyer.com. From the same people that brought you eForms and eSign, they've been a very loyal sponsor to CLR, so go to AskALawyer.com. My point is that, whether you're Paul McCartney or whether you're Shannon Sharpe or whether you're Drake, these guys have to be more careful than most. So guess what? How about have a normal dating relationship instead of the fucking freak-offs like Diddy? Why do you have to be that way? Is it because you have so much money and you can do whatever the fuck you want to whoever you want? You never get no for an answer, so you turn into this egomaniacal, narcissistic asshole who's into everything. Now, I'm not saying that that's Shannon Sharpe, but clearly Shannon's into some nasty shit. If he's with a woman that says, choke me, daddy, put a collar on, daddy, put a collar on me, choke me, and while you're fucking me, daddy. If he's doing all that stuff, get ready for the lawsuit because it is coming. These chicks are not stupid. I don't know if it's urban legend or not, but apparently Drake used to put hot sauce in his condom just in case they would try to, afterwards, obviously. Just in case that they would try to, shove that sperm up them to try to get pregnant to get on the old gravy train. It's just date somebody, get them flowers, take them to dinner, a movie, walk hand in hand around the lake. Oh, wow, what a concept. How about just, what's wrong with sweet and sweaty? Fucking A, it just drives me absolutely crazy. No, it's got to be crazy. It's got to be choking. It's got to be handcuffs. I think in one of these text messages, she even talks about handcuffs. And I know people do this shit. I do. I know people do this stuff. But a little bit of that BDSM, you got to have more. You got to have more. You got to have more. And then it turns into this and turns into that. Somebody gets, it's like my fiance and I, once in a while, we watch 90 Day, and they have this 90 Day Fiance. Have you seen that show? Every guy dreams of, oh yeah, have a threesome. How great would that be? First of all, you last fucking 2 seconds and the two chicks fall in love together and then you're out left in the cold. That's just what would fucking happen. You know, I mean, it's so stupid. But all the problems that they have, you know, the guy thinks, oh, this would be great. And then they have all, you think one woman's hard to fucking handle? Try two. Oh, great. You know, I need 2 headaches. Yeah, give me 3 bottles of fucking Excedrin because I can't handle this shit. Or the other one, sister wives, you know, oh, I got fucking 8 women pissed at me now, you know. Dude, get a partner. Get a partner, not somebody that just is going to fuck like hell, you know. I mean, great. That's great for a short period of time. Eventually, she's either going to turn on you or it's going to get ugly, and it's just not worth it. What's worth it is waking up next to somebody that you absolutely adore. And, you know, oh, can I get you a coffee, dear? Yeah, you can. But would you just kick me in the face before you do it? I mean, fuck. You know, that's what we're talking about here. You know, be nice to the people that you're with. And I know I'm fucking preaching here, but this shit often turns criminal. How is this not a criminal case? You know, and guess what the guidelines are for fucking somebody twice against their will? Through the roof. In some places, it's life without parole. I mean, they're really getting bad, which I think is a mistake because it gives you an incentive to eliminate your victim. In this case, you know, Shannon has taken such a risk with this young woman just to have a relationship with her. And if they're in their 20s and you're in your 50s, guess what they're after? It's all about this. All about the Benjamins, as Ilhan Omar used to say. That's what it is. It's all about the money. You have now, Shannon Sharpe, risked your reputation, your image, your pocketbook, all for what? For some young pussy. You know, Shannon Sharpe was on the rise. I mean, he had a very successful podcast, and he had $100 million deal. Let's see. According to this is Front Office Sports. Shannon Sharpe's media deal with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Podcast Network is up. Sources tell Front Office Sports that Pro Football Hall of Famer has received multiple offers and is expected to sign a deal that would exceed $100 million. That is now in jeopardy. All for what? For some dysfunctional OnlyFans chick? Was it worth it? Is this heat now worth it? Look at your penis, Shannon. Look, I want you to go into the bathroom right now, Shannon. I'll give you a minute. Are you in there? Okay. Now look at your dick. Have a good, long fucking talk with your cock. We call it cock talk. And figure out how to not fuck up your life through your cock. Because it's just what you did. But I know this episode is kind of crude in a way, because what we're talking about is sex and depraved sex, which I'm not into at all. You'll never find, you know, any messages from me. Oh, daddy, you know, choke the fuck out of me, daddy. You know, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking choke the fuck. I mean, no, that is not me. I need a partner. I need, you know, somebody that I adore, and I'm so lucky that I have that in my life right now. And we're friends. We're best friends. I mean, that's what your partner. But if you just want to whore around and fuck around and do this kind of stuff, this is what you're going to get. You know, I mean, there's a reason that people have a ring on their finger. There's a reason that people have, you know, if I go to my doc, you know, and they know that I'm engaged now, and if I went to my doc with hose, what do you think all the people on my doc would say? Well, wait, aren't you engaged? Oh, we're going to go tell your fiance. I mean, just why would you do that? You know, and that's not saying that you necessarily have to be monogamous if you don't want to be, but there's a cost. There's a cost to everything. And, you know, and if you're not married and you're not attached and you've got women all over the place, you can be that guy. But this is what you get when that fucking happens. Even Alan Dershowitz, you know, was given crap for going down to Epstein's Island. You know, I mean, you are the company you keep. And if you're dating, you know, someone that says she likes to be choked, you're dating somebody that is into this kind of crap, guess what? That chick can go south pretty fucking fast. And if you are this big, attractive NFL star who nobody ever said no to, and you take it too far, welcome to I just fucked up my life. I mean, she's seeking $50 million. She wouldn't take 10, evidently. I have no idea how much she's worth. If they offered him a $100 million contract and it doesn't get renewed, that's a problem for her. I mean, one of the things that this Tony Busby does is he likes to try his case in the media, right? He's the one releasing all this shit, and he's doing this, and they do it back and forth. And so any chance at trying to keep this under wraps and settle this thing is out the window, right? But let's say that she gets a $50 million judgment against him. You know, go to trial, get a $50 million judgment, and let's say he doesn't have it. Well, what happened to Rudy Giuliani? You know, you get a receiver appointed. You know, they go after your fucking assets. He shows up in a car that he was supposed to disclose. Oh, whoops. This isn't my car, you know. I mean, and they take his rings. They take his home. They take his whatever. And so he could wind up with literally nothing. All for what? Some pootie tang. Just for some pussy. You know, and it is what it is. I've gone on enough about this because I think now I need to fucking scrub my brain after thinking about all this crap. Shannon, go have that talk with your penis. Honestly. Because you should find a best friend. Honestly. Find somebody that you just can't live without. You know, hold hands, you know, have a family, be in love. That's, you know, that's where my life is at. You know, that's where you should be. You know, to avoid stuff like this. To avoid the young chicks who are just looking to score, you know, money-wise. So, and if you listen to her voice, you know, towards the end, she sounds timid, like she's the one. She sounds like initially she's, you know, aggressive, but then he starts speaking, and you can feel the dynamic between the two of them. You really can. So my heart goes out to both of them because his life is not the same today than it was yesterday before this thing happened. And if what she's saying is true, you know, just because you're into some crazy shit doesn't mean you can't say no. And that's the truth. If your girlfriend's telling you to put a dog collar on her, get her to sign something. Honestly, I'm not kidding. You know, the whole issue of consent, you want some agreement in writing, honestly, if you guys are into some weird shit. But my advice to you is become best friends, hold each other's hand, go to a movie, do the normal shit, and leave this other stuff to the birds. And that's just me. Anyway, I've said enough. So, you know, bad grandma's got to stay secure. And how does she do that? She does that with CyberGhost VPN. CyberGhost VPN is an application that will allow you to browse the internet while protecting you fully. Right now, it's 84% off, 4 months free. So the link is below, and don't end up a cautionary tale. If you're not subscribing, you're missing out. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and get on Facebook. We're trying to get our Facebook numbers up there because we got different content over on Facebook. And then we make sure you sign up for Patreon. And if you're a paid member on Patreon, you get a free hat. And go to askalawyer.com. And one last thing, go to clrbrucerivers.com. We got new t-shirts and hats and hoodies and art and everything. So we'll see you next time on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. The appearance of impropriety or the appearance of putting your thumb on the scale is there with Judge Glanville. So they removed Judge Glanville. And what does that mean? Now you're going to start all over. Not necessarily start all over, but you're going to start with a new judge. Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, and if I got bags under my eyes, it's because I've been burning the midnight oil, bringing you guys the breaking news. The breaking news that Judge Glanville in the YSL trial is no longer the judge in the YSL trial. So we'll talk about the ruling that the Superior Court made and what it means for the trial going forward. But before we get to that, guess what this is brought to you by? eForms.com. eForms.com is a very effective way to avoid the high cost of a lawyer and to protect yourself in any kind of situation where you need a legal form or agreement. For example, if you sell something, get a bill of sale. If you need a power of attorney because you just got kicked out of a case and you're sitting at home and you don't want to leave the house because you're Judge Glanville and you're all pissed off at everybody in the world and you don't want them to see you, well, get a power of attorney so other people can do your business. Or if you're Judge Glanville and you want to have a medical directive because you feel like you're going to have a heart attack, well, you can do that through eForms.com. eForms.com is a very effective way for any former judge who was presiding over a very complex case ineffectively to protect themselves. I'm kidding. All right, so if you recall, and we're going to play a couple of the clips here, you know, with Brian Steele and, you know, the exchanges between these two guys. If you remember Kenneth Copeland? Kenneth Copeland, Lil Woody? Lil Woody? He was a very reluctant witness. They asked him his name, or actually asked him how old he was, and he said, "I plead the fifth."
Okay. How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation?
I mean, and the judge. So what happens when you do that? The prosecutor can offer you immunity from prosecution. Now, one could argue that, well, the prosecutor for the state can't do anything about the feds. Fair enough. But if you don't testify after being granted immunity, the court can then hold you in contempt and hold you in custody until the case is over or until you testify, one of the two. Now, there's 6 defendants being tried right now in this case. And what happened here? So on the morning, I think it was June 10th of this year, the prosecutor asked for an ex parte meeting with the judge. So you had the prosecutor, you had a witness who was sworn in and now is claiming the fifth, his lawyer, and the judge. What you don't have is the defense team. Why not? This is something that should have been done in open court. And one of the things that the prosecutor wanted to do was impress upon Mr. Copeland, in other words, pressure him, after he's been sworn, of the consequences of not testifying, or testifying cutely, like, how old are you? I'm old, like that kind of stuff. Well, he doesn't want to testify. He doesn't want to testify because it's a gang case and people get killed. Loose lips sink ships. Well, snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches. So I think that this is bad form. Because later that morning, Brian Steele gets word that they're having this ex parte meeting to go over, the consequences of not testifying. And the only purpose of that is to pressure that witness into testifying, to coerce the testimony. We're going to lock you up. We're going to lock you up and throw away the key until you testify. So in other words, you have the key to the jail if you testify. We're not going to use it against you, but, we're going to hold you in jail. I mean, that's coercive, isn't it? Like, take away your freedom. And so Brian Steele and Judge Glanville fucking went at it because Glanville wanted to find out, how the hell did you know this information?
And that Mr. Melnick wrote an email saying F you, and then somehow that email was CC'd. To me, that never...
Mr. Steele, can I interrupt you just a second? I'm kind of disturbed because that's ex parte. All that was an ex parte conversation. How did you find out about any of that?
Well, I'm disturbed too. And the reason
I'm asking you a question. How did you find out about it?
I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Scuttle, if you look at SCUDDER versus State, which is 298 Georgia, 438, it's Division 2, 782 Southeast 2D 638, 2016. Our highest court says when a court meets, because Mr. Copeland comes in, meets with the court supposedly made statements, which I assume is somehow accurate based upon what you just said. We're entitled, Mr. Williams and every other person wrongly charged here is entitled under the Georgia Constitution to be present. That's a critical stage.
It's just like when you meet with me, and you and Mr. Adams meet with me, and others have met with me. It's those are ex parte for a lot of different other reasons, but I will certainly note that for purposes of the record.
Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said...
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not?
No, I will not answer that.
Have an ex parte conversation with a party. I mean...
A party?
Yes.
A witness who was sworn in Friday? The court's telling... This is what I was told. If this is not true, not true. This court handed Mr. Copeland...
Tell me how you got the information.
Listen, whatever you want to do...
Tell me how you got the information, then we can go ahead and go forward.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. I was told, and I hope this concerns the court.
It concerns me that you have proprietary information.
Why is it
or
proprietary?
Information that that you should not be having that was ex parte.
Why?
With a party.
Why?
State of Georgia.
How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly this honorable court, or excuse me, let me rephrase that, this court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly...
And it's no doubt that Copeland's lawyer probably told Steele. And so the judge orders Steele to reveal how he knew this. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you. I don't have to tell you. This is privileged information. Well, that pissed off Glanville badly. When he does that, he threatens Steele with contempt and jail. And I think he actually sentences him to 20 days. I mean, he's in the middle of a trial, and you're going to sentence him to 20 days? Why not just fine him, like $1,000 or something? I mean, and it's not his fault that he came across this information at all. And so Steele and a couple other lawyers filed a motion to recuse Judge Glanville from the case. And guess what? Judge Rachel Krause, the Fulton County Superior Court judge, granted Kendrick's motion to recuse Chief Judge Uriel Glanville. Is granted. Bumpus, who is Copeland's lawyer, filed a motion to quash the order to show cause and to recuse Judge Van Glanville from that, and that's denied as moot. And Jeffrey Williams' motion to disqualify the judge was granted. And so one of the things, the court has no doubt that Judge Glanville can and would continue to preside fairly over this matter if the recusal motions were denied. But the necessity of preserving the public's confidence in the judicial system weighs in favor of excusing Judge Glanville from further handling this case. In other words, the appearance of impropriety or the appearance of putting your thumb on the scale is there with Judge Glanville. So they removed Judge Glanville. And what does that mean? Now you're going to start all over, not necessarily start all over, but you're going to start with a new judge. And, I suppose the judge can just pick up, where the case left off. But it was my impression all along that this case has been mismanaged by this judge. There's no way in hell this jury selection should have taken as long as it did. There's no way in hell that some of the shenanigans that have been going on in court should have been going on. Glanville, his ego got in the way. His, I just can't understand how he gets that embroiled in this battle with a lawyer, who's all he's doing is defending his client the best way he knows how. And I think Steele should be given a pat on the back because he stood there and he took it on the chin and was ready to go to jail. After he got this order to do 20 days, well, he appealed that to the Court of Appeals, and guess what? They stayed that order, so he doesn't have to do that 20 days. And now Glanville's gone. I think the contempt has been quashed, and so now he's just, back to square one with the new judge. Why would you do that? Why would you do this ex parte after you swear a witness in? The only purpose for that it should have been done in open court. And you want to be as open and transparent with this kind of stuff as possible. So that's our little reaction to, just our breaking news that Judge Glanville has been removed from the YSL trial. Think about this. How long has he been on that trial? Over a year. Over a year, presiding over jury selection and all this other stuff. He got a little too comfortable, I think. And he lost sight of what was necessary in that case. So that's our little reaction to the breaking news that Judge Glanville is no longer in the YSL trial. He's probably playing shuffleboard or doing something else a little more fun than what he was doing. And it's kind of embarrassing for him, but at the same time, he's probably relieved, I would bet. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon. Just find us wherever we are on any social media platform. We're trying to get our numbers up there on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, Follow us on Instagram. See you next time here on Criminal Lawyer React.